Hello there, running ears. It's Manny again, and this video is overdue and it's coming. It's about the long run. So I'm about to do a long run, so I want to take you on my journey and give you some tips and tricks on how to do your long runs. But before we get into that, we have a little bit of news, and then of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up, I should say. Comment down below, keep sharing the information. Thank you very much for helping this channel grow. We want to get to 2,000. I believe we will, so we will this coming season, and let's get to it. So before we start on today's topic, I just wanted to throw a little bit of news that just dropped, and this is news about if you're going to be doing the Disneyland Halloween, there's going to be some closures to some rides, so let's take a look at those. So first off is going to be Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Casey Jr. Circus, Storybook Land, and Radiator Springs is going to be closed. So as you can see, guys, if you decided you want to do Radiator Springs, that's probably going to be a no-go. And again, that's Big Thunder Mountain. Those are the two main ones. The other ones are a little bit, you can see them from the outside. They look pretty cool. It's not going to affect the run. Now, the one thing is when we run Radiator Springs or we run through Cars Land, it's usually lit up. It's really, really cool. That's not going to affect us because it's further back if you guys have not done it. So it'll still be lit up and we'll be able to see it. So now we're going to go to today's topic, which is a long run. So we're going to do a long run right now, then we're going to come back and kind of summarize what we've learned. But so a long run is going to be something, and it's going to be something that's personal. A lot of people think that a long run needs to be double digits, it has to go into the 20s, whatever. No, that's not true. I was just reading something online where somebody said they're now up to 1 mile. So 1 mile may be your long run. It may be 5 miles, it may be 10 miles, it may be 20 miles. It depends on your goal, it depends on what you're doing, and it depends on the individual. So just remember, and when we start our long runs, the first time you're going to do a long run, and let's say your goal is to do a half marathon, so that means your goal is probably going to be to do 10, 12, sometimes even 14 miles. That's going to be your long run. So the first goal that you should have is just to finish it. But without further ado, we're going to go out there and we're going to do a long run.
Good morning, and there is a full moon out tonight, but we're going to go for our long run. As promised, I was going to make a video about the long run, so we're going to do it. I am running with a bad foot, so the whole goal is to see if I can get my first really long run of the season going. We'll document not every mile, but maybe every other, and of course to finish our pace. One thing I do suggest is that the long run is, especially when you start doing your long runs, I don't worry too much about speed. I just worry about the distance. The speed will take care of itself, especially if you're doing the speed work. So as time progresses, you can practice that speed work kind of in the middle of the long run, but the whole goal is to make sure that you can make the distance. This is also when you practice whatever you're going to do or take on the long runs. For example, if you run with gels, you're going to have to practice carrying them. If you run with water, you're going to have to practice that. I have to run with this, so I'm going to have to practice that. If you're going to be wearing costumes, at least part of it, practice it on the long run. That way, when you come to your run, race day, whatever you want to call it, you're ready to go. But besides that, we are going to get going. We're going to see come what may. Maybe there'll be some surprises on the way, but we are starting in a residential area, but we're going to go into the parks very, very soon. So we're going to be running among some wildlife, so we never know what we might see. Alrighty, here we go. We are going to be starting very soon. All right, we're still out at residential area, and we're about to hit 2 mile marker. So I'm going to show you guys. Hopefully you can see here, and we got some light coming up. Here it is. So you saw 12:22. It's the average mile so far, mile marker 2. But I'm about to head into the park, which, guys, if you can run in a park, it's better, especially for the breathing part, because you got a bunch of trees around you. So it's a park to the right, but there's an entrance over here to the left.
We'll see you guys at mile marker 4. You never know what you're gonna see on these runs. Look at that. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. There's an armadillo. He's smelling around. We're not gonna get close to him, but. All right, so we're almost at 4. We're gonna see the update right now. 3.99. Let's see when it switches over to 4. Just switched over. Let's see what the average, 13:49. So slow down a bit, but we're walking a little bit more. It is a bit humid out here. My foot is still hurting. It's not as bad. Hey, wait a second. That looks like Peg Leg Pete. We're gonna see if he's up to his old tricks and stuff. So, all right. Oh no, man. All right, he's up to his old tricks. You know what we're gonna try to do now? We're gonna try to tame him. We're gonna try to teach him the ways of proper running etiquette. I'll be back shortly to see if I'm successful. All right, we're almost at 6. You can see 5.98. All right, it's about to hit 6. Let's see what the split is. All right, here it comes. 6. What is the split? You can see the spontaneous time, 12:48. So a little bit faster. All right, so guess who we picked up? We picked up somebody and we're trying to show him the ways of proper running etiquette. What do you have to say, Peg Leg Pete?
I'm sorry. I've been wrong in my ways this entire time. Please forgive me.
Let's see if he keeps it up. Okay, we're 7.98. This one's probably gonna be a little slower. We stopped and walked a little bit more. Here we go, it's about to turn to 8. Let's see what we're at. 8, and what is the miles? 13.4, so still not too bad. Foot's holding up and stuff. Let's see how Peg Leg Pete is doing. Pete. Oh, there, what? Pete, like I told you before, that's not Bambi. We still got some work to do. Coming to the end of the long run. 9.98, 9.99. Let's see what we get for 10 and what the time will be. Here it is. Just turned to 10 and it is a little under 15. So we had to slow down quite a bit because of me, because of my foot. But start getting the gist of the long run. Try to finish the long run as long as you can. And for Peg Leg Pete, do you remember that not every deer is Bambi?
I know. I'm trying. I'll do better. I will do better.
We still got a ways, but you will see Peg Leg Pete again at Chills and Thrills. He will be there. We just talked him into it. So let's go back to the guy who's going to give you a few more tips. Whew, that was pretty tough. It got a little bit hot, it got a little bit humid, and then of course I'm struggling with a little bit of my foot. It's not horrible, it's not bad, I can run on it, but it's something that I can feel. So let's go ahead and break down what the long run consists of. So you just saw me do 10 miles, 10 solid miles. And again, I got a little bit slower as I went on. That was mainly because of my foot. I had to slow down a tad bit. I actually felt okay overall. But that was the longest run I've done in a while. We got less than 4 weeks now for the half marathon. So I'll probably do one more run of about 11, 12 miles to try to get that distance up. But the first thing I want to say is if you're just getting into long runs, do not worry about the time. A lot of people try to put too much on everything right away. So they try to get the time down and then they try to get the distance down. So what I always try to tell people, especially if you're months away, so you're doing the wine and dine, you're doing the marathon weekend princess, so forth and so on, just concentrate on the distances. Do not worry about the time right now. Just worry about finishing. If your long run is gonna be 10 miles, just worry about finishing. Look at the time. Let's say you average 17 minutes per mile pace. That's okay to start off with. What you're gonna do is as time progresses, you're gonna continue doing your speed work. If you haven't already, please watch the speed work video. So you do the speed work once, maybe twice a week, but I'd probably say once a week. And then as time goes by, so once you start getting that base of the distance run, so now you feel comfortable doing an 8 to 10 mile run. So that's probably going to take you a month or so. What you're going to do is you're going to start incorporating a little bit of speed into that long run. So for example, if you do 8 miles, after about 2 or 3 miles, then you're going to pick it up. Maybe for a half a mile, you're going to pick up that pace to see how long you can withstand. So maybe for half a mile, maybe a mile, you withstand that pace that you've been working on for the speed work. Then you bring it back down, and then you continue going like that, and you're going to see if you can finish the 8 miles comfortably. If you finish them, then and you're comfortably, you're going to see your time's going to go down. You're going to be a little bit faster. It's going to be cool. So if it doesn't go down, just start, doing your speed work a little bit. Adjust your speed work. It's not uncommon for the first few. You're going to feel a little bit more tired because you are pushing yourself a little bit more. So the first few runs, those long runs, and you can incorporate a little bit more of the speed. Again, it's going to put a little bit more toll on the body. So there's a chance you may not feel as good. You may not be able to go as long. But, again, the whole goal is to try to get as close to that 8 miles, even if you have to walk a little bit. But, and your body will adjust. Give it time. It's a thing that people think that after a month, they're going to have it. And sometimes it takes a couple of months, especially if you're new to it. You haven't done it for a while. That kind of stuff. So, and then right now, we have record highs going on around the states, the United States, around the world. So if you're training, even if you're training around the world, you're going to have some record high. Once it gets cooler, it's going to be a little bit better. So that's it for this video. I do think that there might be some news popping in pretty soon. I think the next bit of news is going to be the Brooks. I think they're gonna basically bring out what the styles are going to be for the Halloween, Disneyland Halloween. I'm looking forward to that because I'm debating whether to get some shoes there. But anything else, any questions you have about the long run? Do you want to share anything about your long run? What is your longest run? How did you feel about it? You saw what I did. So without further ado, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Create a magical day, create a magical run, and guys, see you sooner than later.